Hey guys, Phil Baumhard here. So for today's Knife of the Week, I got this Mountain Man Edition Blade Catcher Bowie, is what I'm calling this. So it's going to be a full Tang, made out of 80 CRV2, 2 inches wide, 3/16 of an inch thick. Entire length of the blade is about 12 inches. It's a little over 12 inches. The entire cutting edge, actual cutting edge, is about 11 inches. I've got a pretty big ricasso there because of the large blade catcher guard. But just like my other blade catcher buoys, inspired by the Moore Bowie, allegedly the knife of Jim Bowie, who knows. But if you were to use this going blade to blade with another knife or sword, if a blade falls in there, you can kind of perform a bind, lock it in with this guard, and then on the back of the spine, it's they're not really serrations, but it's kind of toothed, you know. They're definitely not saw teeth. Those will lock in a blade real well, and if you got your opponent's knife locked up, they can't cut you with it at that moment. So we've got a sharpened false edge, maple handle, and then I did kind of the Mountain Man style pins along the edge. Those pins go all the way through, and kind of inspired by the rugged Mountain Man tradition. I was fortunate enough to shoot a buck this year during deer season, so I do all the butchering myself, and so I had the carcass left over, the rib cage and spine that I needed to dispose of. So I actually used this to cut that up and break into smaller pieces so I could get rid of it. And so this thing cut through a bunch of bones, no problem. I don't see any sort of chips or damage. It's got to be a little bit duller, but it doesn't feel any duller. But the important thing is that it didn't take any damage chopping through that bone. And then I had a box elder tree that I wanted to get rid of. I got a lot of box elders in my backyard. They grow like weeds, and so that was a live tree, but I had been meaning to take it down. And so I ended up using this to cut that tree down and delimb it, and it worked great for that as well. So again, haven't sharpened it at all since doing that. I cleaned the blade off. I actually cut myself on the thumb pretty good. I was wiping off the blade like this and caught my thumb on the underneath of the blade. Put a pretty deep cut on there, so that'll be a scar. So anyways, real nice feeling handle. I tried doing the kind of geometric grinding on the handle, similar to the knives of the 1800s, which was a challenge to do and kind of match it up. Keep it symmetrical for the coffin handle, but really nice feeling knife. Handle's fairly long, so you can kind of choke back, get a second hand on there for real powerful chopping. And one of the benefits of this sort of symmetrical handle is that it feels good in if you have the true edge out or the reverse edge out. So if you want to hold it with the true edge up for field dressing animals, say, you could do that. And I actually saw this old school farmer field dress a deer with a large butcher knife, so maybe a little bit smaller than this. But I mean, he just had those guts out in probably 5 minutes. I mean, very well practiced, knew exactly what he was doing. Used a large knife and didn't pierce any of the guts or foul any of the meat. So that was actually really cool to see that kind of old school knife skill, if you will. For the scabbard, I kind of wanted to do the, kind of be in keeping with the Mountain Man thing. I got some, brass tack decoration, some other stamping leather work on there. Just a simple belt loop. Kept it long so that it rides on your belt. It's a little bit easier to get the knife in and out, because if the mouth of the sheath is too close to your waistline, it really is kind of tough to try to get it back in without stabbing yourself. I got the gunslinger leg tie down. I've got a real long piece of leather here. You can always cut this down, but I've got pretty skinny legs, so I don't want to size it just to my legs. Or if somebody's wearing lots of layers of clothing, warm clothing, I wanted to make sure this was plenty long enough, but I just got it wrapped up nice and neat here. This started its life out as a custom order about 2 years ago. I started making this knife for somebody. During the process, he reached out to me and told me that financially he wasn't going to be able to go through with the order. So I had this knife forged out for a couple of years, and I had forged out the entire, forged out the blade and the handle for the most part were actually forged at my old forge. So I was actually pretty proud of the way of doing the coffin handle like this. This was more or less done with the hammer and then cleaned up on the grinder. Obviously, for whatever reason, I didn't end up shooting a video for it. I think I had just finished another coffin handle Bowie, so I didn't want to be too repetitive with that. I may have started filming it, but then I don't know where the footage is if that's the case. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys this knife anyways because I'm real happy with the way it turned out. So if you want to own this, it's on the Etsy store right now. I'll put a link in the description box. If you want a custom knife, message me on Etsy, Instagram, or Facebook. Those are all great places to get a hold of me. Links for all that is in the description box. But that's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, be more Viking.
The Nez Perce will trade you horses. Be wise to the Arapaho. Beware a Pawnee warrior. You can winter with the crow. You can winter